Right, so 1400 years of Islam has been completely and utterly dismantled and debunked. It's actually karma for how you treated Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and like the Quran, which you hold dear to you, actually just tricks you as it goes along. Like the biggest thing that the Quran is like wrong about is that Satan is the enemy. Satan is actually a creation of Allah, and saying "Udu billahi minash shaitan rajim." I'm gonna say when I went to the masjid in Croydon, this is how they said it, like a weak little peasant. You're either a peasant or a dickhead, a Muslim, yeah. It's like "Udu billahi minash shaitan rajim." So Satan's what are you thinking? Hang on, I'm a creation of Allah. You're a human. We're supposed to be like working together and like cooperating in the universe, and like you're just constantly 5 times a day putting your middle finger up to Satan. Like poor Satan, Iblis, like he made a mistake. Like he didn't prostrate to Adam. Like he just didn't know that the human could be like Philip John Platt. So maybe if you just like give Satan and Iblis a chance, they're actually trying to help you unlock your energy. So it's like I don't like a creation of Allah. I don't like Satan. So like the whole religion of Islam has been debunked completely. Oh look, the moon's following me. It's like a nice big moon in this video. It's called Moony, bit of Boony. And also, like sport, like Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, and then like Carlos Alcaraz and like Tiger Woods, then they're like minuscule. Their talent is minuscule compared to mine. So try and watch like my videos. Try and watch like just a few of my videos, and then go and watch professional sport and try and be entertained by it. Try and live my life. My life since 1991. I've been watching TV, and like even Michael Jackson and like Tiger Woods and like Messi and Ronaldo, I'm looking at them, I'm thinking, I know I'm much better than them, but I'm getting like no love, and it's like, I'm getting like no love, and like everyone's just bullying me. Like it's actually the polar opposite. It's like the more I try to express myself, the more I get bullied. And like the more I remember being in 2009 trying to explain to my football coach, like, oh, this is actually how you play football, and he shouted at me and like shouted me down. I've got theories on how to play football. I could make you. I could be a better manager than Pep Guardiola. I could make you play football much better, but I just think football's a load of rubbish. It's all just like peasantry, angry, shouting and swearing and getting angry. Like see how the moon's following me, and it's like a nice big moon in this one. It's actually Moony, bit of Boony. And notice how like everyone around me is just like just stuck on their phone, driving a car, beeping, getting angry, completely oblivious that we're a minute speck of the entire universe and that there is a God. I actually know what God looks like. I know God, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah, 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 Allah. Do you know Allah, who you think is actually like a man, or you don't know what they look like? Allah is actually a woman who's, like a man can't give birth. Like a woman can give birth. So like a woman gave birth to her creation. Allah is actually a woman with purple hair, blue eyes, a sexy hourglass figure, and tanned, reddish, shiny skin. Who she gave birth to her creation like however many years ago, and it's like she's a blend of every single one of her creations in the universe. And like imagine you've got like a jinn, an angel, a man, a woman. So like like all the Muslim women who've been like all the women, particularly the Muslim women have been oppressed and like treated like crap for the past however many years. They're gonna be like all I've saved all like the biggest thing I've done of all the things that I've done. I've saved Muslim women from their dickhead husbands and like Islamic men. Like Islamic men today, a lot of them, not all of them, I don't want to like generalize, but a lot of them are like they don't treat their wives correctly. They have like, oh look, the moon's full, look, the moon's there now. It's like a nice big moon. It's like they don't treat their wives correctly. They have like no personality. They have not in touch with their feminine side. They have like no emotions. Got a long old dirty old beard. They can't dance. They can't play golf. They just like. Do you think a woman wants to be with a man like that? So like with Philip John Platts, who's actually the Imam Mehdi, yeah, who's got the same character as your Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Your Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have actually loved England 30 years ago. There's no such thing as the Day of Judgment. There's no such thing as the Rapture. So Christianity and Islam is going to be shut down for good. Judaism is going to be shut down for good. All other religions are going to be shut down. But you know what's actually going to be shut down? All religions are going to be shut down. All professional sport and music festivals are going to be shut down. The news will probably be shut down because it's just all a load of riffraff, scaremongering. Soaps will be shut down. The mental health system will be shut down. And like the people, the street smart people like who just like do their own, like David Goggins or like Mike Austin or like Michael Jackson or me. I'm sure there's other people in like America or like around Europe who just like, or like Akira Toriyama, they just cut adrift and just do their own thing. They're the ones who are going to be, they're the ones who are actually, the ones who, do you know, it's kind of ironic, right? The Muslims think they're close to Allah by being like peasants and going to the pilgrimage in Hajj, yeah? Hajj pilgrimage, like millions of you walking around a box. Allah actually loves the people who stand out and like do their own thing, like David Goggins and like Michael Jackson and Mike Austin and me. So like, you think it's actually the polar opposite. You think you're getting closer to Allah by walking around the box as peasants and like not even practicing your golf swing or creating music. When Allah, do you know what Allah loves? People who stand out and do their own thing and like have a personality and character. And where's the moon? Is the moon? Oh, hang on! Without fail, the moon's like followed me. It's like a nice bright moon, yeah. It's the Moony, better bend them Boony. More looky dooky. Like there's very few people with like. Would you get an Arab Muslim today even do my most efficient exercise ever? Like a lot of like silliness and like strength, like silliness. Like Maria Sharapova. Or like a Taylor Swift, like, like women are actually better than men. Like Allah's actually a woman. Like, like a man can't give birth to a creation. How can a man give birth to a creation? Like Allah is actually a woman. So I've like saved all the Muslim women. I've saved all the people who are stuck in the mental health system. I've saved like all the people who are like unsure about religion or what's the truth. I'm telling Philip John Platt's this guy in England who's been told he's bipolar and psychotic and been bullied for his whole life. Is like, been taking like aripiprazole and like olanzapine and like, just not being listened to and being completely. If you were a fly on the wall in my childhood, in my house, my home, and my school, like everyone would be like heartbroken about how I was treated by everyone around me, like my family and my friends. I had a friend. I'm not going to say his name. It's like I had a friend. It's the anagram. It's like an anagram of Iraq tea. There's a name called Iraq. Imagine like Iraq tea. Make an anagram of that. That's what his name was. He deliberately disagreed with me all the time, and I think he was jealous of me because I was the popular kid in school and I actually had a brain and a kind heart and a nice personality. He was like constantly trying to like demoralize me and without fail, everything I said and done, he deliberately disagreed with me. I'm pretty sure he tried to kill me on a holiday we went to in 2007. Like he tried to make me go underneath the cliffs in the sea and get dragged. Oh look, the moon's up there, dragged out into the sea. So like, is his name is like an anagram of Iraq tea. Like he's a dickhead. He's one. I've had like many dickheads in my life. Right, there's a few. There's two people I can't talk about. Otherwise, I'll get severe consequences. But like they're dickheads. Well, one of them's a dickhead and one of them's not. But one of them's like, I'm not even gonna say. But like, basically, like how like everyone how like I'm like walking down the street and being like keeping myself fit and like playing golf and creating music, and it's like everyone literally without fail in Croydon, about 95% of the people are like that like it's not probably not 95%, but like a lot of the people are either peasants or like dickheads or they're just like nice people but they haven't got much about them. Like the living in Croydon my whole life, I've realised, like things have got progressively worse because like Philip John Platts is actually controlling the world of his mind. Here's proof of that. I'm controlling the world of my mind, right? Like 9/11, which was like a dickhead thing by terrorists. Yeah, trying to like what you think flying planes into buildings is actually normal, right? 9/11 was the same week as my 10th birthday. It was 5 days before my 10th birthday. 9, 10, 11, naughty 9, naughty 11. Oh look, the moon's there now. I'm not really like an Arab culture dickhead trying to take over Islam. I'm actually establishing my own religion called common sense. And it's like 365 minus 5, 16th of September minus 5 is 11th of September. It's 360 degrees in a circle. So perhaps I think it's because like, I think I remember there's the moon. I think on that day, I remember clearly on that day I had a really good day at school. So I think it's like, the thing is, right, when Philip John Platts is in a state of happiness, the world is in stress. Or when Philip John Platts, that guy has been told is bipolar disorder and psychotic, look, the moon's like literally following me. Like when he's in like a state of peace and like always letting all of his thoughts out and like is proving to the world that he's actually the Imam Mehdi and he's actually the most kind-hearted, most amazing man of all time, better than all the prophets. Yeah. Like when he's actually letting his thoughts out, the world's in chaos without fail. Like you see, like we're in 2026, like May 2026, and like the world's going to get worse for like another 5 years because, like they say 7 years of peace. It's actually 6 years of chaos because like seven's the good number and six is the bad number. It's 300. You know the significance of 313. The moon's like without fail following me. That rhymed. 313 weeks between taking my shahada on my 34th birthday and emerging on my 40th birthday, which is 6 years. 52 weeks and 1 day in a year. 52 times 6 is 312. Plus 1 day. 312 weeks and 6 days, but there's a leap year in 2028, so it's like an extra day, February the 29th. So without fail, the 6 years is, 6 years is actually 313 weeks. So I don't actually see the moon's like following me. It's a nice big bright moon, so you can see it without fail. Like they think I'm like the Muslims are in for a big shock. They think it's all like a big trick. Like a big trick, because Allah's nature is to be tricky and funny and like silly. And basically my personality is Allah's personality. Basically, so when you look at me, you're looking at Allah's personality. Yeah. It's like you think it's going to be like a day of judgment and the world's going to end, and it's like you're going to Jannah and be judged and all non-Muslims are going to hell, and it's like the Imam Mahdi is a warrior in Mecca, and it's like he's going to establish Islam and 7 years of peace. It's all just one big trick. It's actually like I've established my own religion called common sense. All religions are shut down. Your Islam is going to be shut down. It's 6 years of chaos, and the world's going to continue for like a million gajillion years, because how like Charles Hamilton tried to say like, oh, Sonic is a prophet, and it's like Sonic CD and like Sonic is prophethood. He was actually telling the truth, but I'm pretty sure he's been labelled as mental health and been taking tablets. When people who are like told they're like bipolar or like psychotic or schizophrenia, perhaps they're people who are actually in touch with God and like the universe, and they're actually the normal. It's actually going to be flip reverse. Society in the future, people like me who've been told their mental health are actually going to be seen as the normal people, and the doctors and the nurses, all the doctors and the psychologists and the psychiatrists will be the slaves who are like put on like treated like slaves. Perhaps it's like going to be a flip it and reverse it. Like all the people like me and Charles Hamilton and like Kanye West will be ruling the world, and all like the doctors who are drugged up all these creative, lovely, sparky people for like over hundreds of years, they're the ones that are going to be all drugged up and like treated like slaves. Do you know what I mean? Like there's this thing in the universe called like karma, and like the moon's like following me back home. There's this thing in the world called karma. You think like your words and your actions have no effects. Like the reason I am who I am is because I've had so many like there's so much karma like for the people who are, the way they've treated me in my life, like the mental health system, my friends. So I'm not going to go too much into my family, but how some of my family have treated me, my friends who have betrayed me and backstabbed me, the mental health system, some people who I've fallen out with, and people just not listening to me throughout my whole life. So it's like a karma thing. Like I didn't want to really get like this. I just wanted to live like a normal life with a wife. That rhymed. And then it's like what's actually happened is Philip John Platts is the Imam Mahdi. I've shut down all sport. I've shut down all religion. I've shut down all mental health. I've like shut down the royal family. I've like shut down music festivals and soaps, because you just need to be like a normal human being who like practices their golf swing, and like perhaps if you just like not be like praying 5 times a day, you're basically praying to be like a Arab peasant. Basically, your prayers, which you think Allah is answering and making you like closer to Allah, is actually making you further away from Allah, because you're basically in your 5 prayers a day. You're putting your middle finger up to Satan. You're worshipping Muhammad probably more than Allah, and you're praying to be a soft little peasant, either a peasant or a dickhead, Arabian peasant or dickhead, and like having to speak Arabic and having to read the Quran. The Quran is actually just a way to trick you into like scaring you, and just like the religion of Islam, the whole religion of Islam is a way to turn you soft and stupid. How like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he first got prophet, he actually wanted to genuinely try to help the people. Then I think the biggest mistake the peasants made was like killing his family in front of him. Like, they all know the story about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So like on that day, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's mentality changed. He just thought like, right, how can I just like, oh what, if you peck like a, oh look, the moon's following me. If you peck like a hen, your salah will be invalid. Oh, like, he just made it up as he went along. He didn't want to. That's why he kept on praying for his ummah, because like he knew what you would turn into, because he had the after he split the moon in two, he had the authority to like say what he wanted to say. But if you didn't kill his family in front of him and like make him go into battles and just not listen to him and nearly kill him, and then that woman tried to poison him, or actually did poison him, you wouldn't turn into 7th century Arabian peasants and dickheads. Well, you think like I've seen the images of Mecca, right? Do you think Allah wants you just to be walking around a box and like kissing a stone and like being peasants? Do you know, like Philip John Platts is literally the reference for eternity, you know that? And it's like, to get closer to Allah, you have to be exactly like me. I said this years ago when I was with my friend. I'm not going to say their name. They were like treating me so badly and trying to get me on alcohol and everything and weed and everything in like 2021 to 2024. I was saying, look, I'm the chosen one. And I said, look, if people were just more like me, the world would be a better place. And they're like, oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. You need to drink alcohol and smoke weed and be a dickhead. I'm like, well, you know, there's a thing called karma, like how you treat me. How you treat me is like you're going to get karma like 10 million fold back, because I'm literally the Imam Mehdi, and I'm home now. All right, this video, do I look out the window? I'm going to... silly. Right, I've been all serious in this video. Now I'm going to end it on a silly note. Silly. Oh, the moon's not there. Anyway.